Welcome back to the Winded Podcast. I'm your host, Seamus Sullivan, and make sure you're following on all platforms available on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and Amazon. Follow the Instagram at Winded Pod. You can follow me on TikTok at Seamus_Sullivan. Have a lot of great guests on already and a lot more in the future that do things in all levels of sports, content creation, women in sports, really, you name it. I'm trying to talk to them if they have an interesting story. But today I have a golf content creator, and we're actually talking to a man today. I don't want to be accused of being sexist and only having females on the show, so had to get a guy on, and who better than Boston's own Evan Flanagan, aka at Flannygolfs. Evan, how you doing today?
I'm great. Happy to be here. Looking forward to talking to you. Appreciate it.
Of course, no, it's you've been on my list for a while. Especially us both being, Massachusetts guy, your background in golf. And then as I dug into you a little bit more, I'm excited to get to know you a little better. What drove you to golf in the first place and your whole content creator journey, which you've, built a pretty successful brand for yourself. So very excited to let the people know a little bit behind the curtain of Flannygolfs. But I wanted to get into it. I didn't even realize this at first, but you are a former baseball player, played college ball at URI, which is no small school by any means. So being able to play baseball at a school like that, and you turned to golf to kind of keep that competitive edge going that you had being a college athlete. And I was surprised to find out that you didn't start playing golf until you were 23 years old.
Yep. Yeah. So I never really played golf growing up. Like I played like a few times, like I swung the club before, but never like took it too seriously. I was playing like baseball, obviously, and then soccer, basketball as well. So those kind of took up all my time. And then obviously, like you said, I played baseball in college as well, and then graduated. And I was like, all right, I need something to kind of fill that competitive edge that I've had my whole life. And just kind of it seems like the usual turn for baseball players is to start playing golf after they're done. So I was like, all right, I'll give that a shot. And then obviously, like everyone who starts playing golf, they love it, and just kind of gone from there. And I think about 2-3 years in, I was like, all right, I really want to try to get good at this, because it's just kind of the mentality I have is I'm going to play something, I want to be good at it. So I kind of started taking it more seriously. And then a couple of years ago, I think 2024, I started the Flannygolfs Instagram page just because I saw like social media golf was kind of starting to blow up a little bit. And I was like, I already play enough golf as it is. It's not like I'm going to have to try to change my schedule. All I had to do is just start bringing a camera out there and filming myself and posting it. So that's kind of how I started getting into golf, getting into the content creation side of things that I've been really enjoying so far. It's really kind of taken a turn where it's a nice community on like social media golf that I didn't expect to like make friends and everything like that through social media, which has been great so far.
Yeah, the golf community online, at least the very small part that I have kind of entered into, and I am an absolute hack, and I'm not even really a golf creator, but I've kind of immersed myself in that world, and I've made a lot of friends, and there are some really great people, and I love to see, people collaborating and doing all these different things. I am curious though, from the move from baseball into golf.
Hmm.
I'm a former hockey player,
Yep.
and obviously hockey and golf, there's, a big connection with that. I can't shake that. What my wind up for hockey, that's how I swing a golf club. Baseball, the golf it seems to be a little bit more because it does go kind of all the way around. But what was that like getting used to, the swing from a baseball bat to a golf club?
Yeah, so it's definitely a challenge. One of the advantages I had was that I didn't hit it all in college. I was a pitcher, so it's
Okay.
kind of a little bit of an easier transition where I don't have those like tendencies from a hitting standpoint. I kind of lost those, so it's just more that like rotational side of things is kind of familiar. So definitely, obviously, no one's good when they start playing golf right away, but I feel like it's just from like an athletic standpoint, it translates well for like pitcher wise with the rotation and everything. But yeah, so that's kind of how my transition was. I feel like I kind of had an advantage where I'm not hitting, I was pitching, so it kind of helps.
That makes sense, but yeah, it's even, swing I just can picture the motion of swinging a baseball bat is much closer to a golf club. Although most hockey players have no problem doing the full swing. I just can't. I don't know if it's shoulder injuries that I've had, but I'm just like, I get it up to like this high, and I'm like, I'm just taking a slap shot
Yeah,
off
I
the
mean,
tee, 9 iron, whatever it is.
yeah,
I'm still swinging it like it's a hockey stick.
yeah. I mean, I mean, you've seen my swing. I don't have a long swing at all either. So it's like, so it's whatever works for me. If I take it back too far, I'm all off. So I just shorten it up and everything to make it easier and simpler.
That's what I had decided. I'm
Yeah.
like, why fight it? I'm embracing it. It's I may lose some yardage, but if I know where it's going, I'm not gonna mess with it. Um, but yeah, so starting out of college, putting some serious effort into it. And how old are you now?
31.
31. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you started doing content a couple of years ago. I mean, 8 years isn't that long of a time to really go get down to the level of golf that you're at. Is there any stretch over that 8 years that you saw like the most significant growth, or what was it that really unlocked you getting to the level of golf that you're at now?
Yeah, honestly, I think it's been like the last 3 or 4 years that I really started to like get to the like that better level. I think one of the biggest things for me was really focusing a lot on like my short game and everything like that, just the little things where you save like a ton of strokes during the round. If you're missing greens like most amateur golfers are, you're not going to hit the green every time. If you can get up and down for par, for bogey, just save amount of many strokes as you can. I think that was a big difference maker for me because I member at South Shore Country Club in Hingham, and most of the membership is like a little older. So I play with a lot of the older guys, and I'm watching them play, and they hit it like 230 down the fairway, and then they're chipping and putting from everywhere and making pars. And I'm like, all right, so this might be the secret to improving with golf. So I think that's been one of the biggest things that I've seen in my game is just improving the short game and the little things rather than if you can get off the tee, already in good shape. But if you can kind of refine the game where you're getting up and down, making some putts, I think it helps a lot.
It is always great to get paired up with an old timer like that,
Yeah,
and it really kinda put some reality into you that it's like, these guys that know it and they've been playing for a long time, they don't try to be heroes on every
exactly.
shot. They make and now, of course, people will get into, like, whether it's lame to lay up, but, I mean, it's just smart to play this way and not try to, and focus on those detailed shots of the short game and the putting that everybody when people go to the driving range, you look across and it's like everybody's just hitting their driver 40
Yeah,
balls. And it's like,
yeah,
you're not going to get any better doing that. And
no,
I do that myself. I'm like, this is what I need to work on. But it's when you do focus on those irons and the wedges that as you get close, those approach shots that are where you're losing the strokes. And it is a great reminder and getting paired with guys who are members at country clubs that are in their 60s and they know, how to play with what they've got because they're not as strong as they were. Can't hit it as far off the tee. So it is always a great reminder that that's where you really make it up.
I got a little get a little frustrated being 50, 60 yards ahead of someone, and then we're still walking off with the same score. I'm like, all right, I got to figure something out here.
How has the content creation aspect, you've said in the last couple of years you've seen a significant difference, and it's obviously part of it is focusing on short game and putting. But how has your content helped you? Is there any sort of analysis with, being able to see yourself on video more? Any of that play into your game improving?
Honestly, I just being able to watch my swing like week after week if I'm filming and everything, or if I'm like, oh, I played terrible today, let me go back and watch my swing. And I'm not like an expert on like swing tips or instruction on that, but I can tell like if I'm looking a little off with something. So it actually has helped a little bit with like content creation, just filming my swing more because I'd never really done that before. And also, if I feel like it's when I put the camera on, I'm like, all right, I got to focus a little more here on these shots and everything. So it does actually, I tend to play a little better when I have the camera on versus not, which I thought was funny. I feel like it'd be the opposite, but it just kind of helps me focus a little more and lock in.
I'll tell you, it usually is the opposite. I
Yeah,
played around with my brothers and one of my brother's college friends, and where I set up a tripod on every par three that we played,
yeah,
and
just in case.
we yeah, just in case, and we I think there were 4 or 5 par 3s, and we missed every single green. And luckily, I had all 20 on tape, so we could go back and be like, "Oh, this one," it was non-existent closest to the pin. There was couldn't be judged, it was too far away.
One of the bad things that happened about filling part threes was a couple weeks ago. I played with Brooke, who you've had on when
Of
we were in
course.
Florida, yeah, and she finally beat someone in her par three close to the pin, who was me. So that was unfortunate. But other than that, enjoy filming the par threes and everything.
You took the thunder right away from me. I have a fan submitted question from Brooke in Tampa
Oh no.
asking how you have recovered from that closest to the pin loss to Brooke, who had never won one of those before.
Yeah, so I really haven't been sleeping well for the last couple weeks. We had to reconsider my golf game and everything like that, but I'm glad I could help her build a little confidence going into breaking 90. I think I can say that maybe that helped her a little bit to break 90, gave her some confidence. So I'll take some credit for that.
Yeah, Brooke Johnson is on a hot streak right now. She is tearing it up, and she's a great creator. So if you're not already following Bogies with B, make sure you go check her out. Great guest, and she'll actually be up in Massachusetts in a couple weeks, which is great. So hopefully, get a chance to see her out on a course somewhere up here.
Yep,
Won't look
bet.
as nice as the scenery that she is used to playing on. I think I don't know how long she's been away from Massachusetts. The golf courses, even the best ones don't look as good as the dumpy ones down there, but it'll be good to have her up here for a little bit.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, she's the best.
And speaking of Brooke Johnson, you are both on the Creator Tour. Why don't you talk a little bit about what that is and how that's been going for you?
Yeah, so that's actually a really cool concept. I think last year they did something similar where they did like just a one weekend type of event, but this year they've really expanded it a lot more where it's like a few months season where I think it's like 500 plus creators are on the app and everything like that signed up, and it's not just skill-based golf stuff. It's like different types of challenges where you're getting points for like different types of social media posts, things like that, challenging other people who are in the on the tour and everything like that. And then the top 72 people, I believe, by the end of August, qualify for like the final weekend at PGA National, which is a sweet venue. Which obviously I'd love to qualify for that and play. So I think right now I'm in 15th from last time I checked, but obviously we have a few months left. So hopefully I can keep that going. But I think it's a really cool concept just to bring a lot of creators together from different backgrounds, from different skill levels, and kind of give everyone an opportunity to qualify for it. Not just people who are like low handicaps and everything like that who would just dominate and obviously be in. You can still get points and everything by just posting great content and stuff like that. So I feel like it's a really cool concept that's inclusive for everybody.
That is, and I didn't realize that part of getting additional points for it because, you know, I talk about it a lot on this show with people who talk golf, and that it's, you know, watching perfect golf is great in the right aspect, but sometimes you that's not what you're looking for. And if they were just looking for, there's YouTube golf channels for that. So
Yep.
I think it's great that they've put something
Yeah.
together that, combines the skill with the personality that is the golf world online right now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think it should be really cool. It should be fun, and hopefully, fingers crossed, I can make it to PGA National, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm pulling for you for sure. I
Abs-
hope at least one of the two of you have to get there. I would
yeah, exactly.
love to see what comes of that. Um, there's a lot of frustration that goes into golf. How do you handle whether you're having a bad round, bad day, bad stretch? You play a lot of golf. How do you overcome, frustration on the golf course?
Yeah, I just try not to take it too seriously because, like, obviously, like, we're amateur golfers, we have day jobs, so it's like this isn't. I'm not playing for $1 million every weekend. Like, I'm gonna have bad days. I'm gonna have good days. Obviously, it's frustrating when you're out there, but I just try not to think too much into it and everything like that. I feel like from going back to that baseball background where baseball is so much failure. Like either when you're pitching, you're hitting. It's like you're literally if you're a hitter and you're failing 7 times out of 10, you're in the Hall of Fame. You're hitting 300. But so it's like it's kind of the same mentality with golf where it's pretty much like the person who has the best misses that day is going to win most of the time. It's like people who are missing the best rather than hitting the best shots. So I feel like just not trying to overthink it and just kind of moving on to the next shot is how I kind of deal with that.
That's great
Yeah.
advice. On sticking with the advice kind of lane, what is something that you hear people give as golf advice that you think is overrated or that is just not helpful, that you don't see it as helpful?
Yeah. I think when people are like, oh, you just got to keep your head down, I feel like that's just like a throwaway thing. It's like you have to move your head at some point in the golf swing. Like if you just keep your head down and swing, it's not going to work either. So I feel like just like the net like the go to like, oh, you just got to keep your head down. I'll watch the ball for you. I feel like that's just like a throwaway golf tip that people use, but might work for some people, but I don't know. Not it's not for me.
Yeah, how do you feel about just you know, the backseat driver or you know, the person who's given advice on unsolicited advice? How do you feel about those guys?
Yeah, so I feel like if someone's asking you like, "Hey, watch my swing, like tell me if I'm doing something," that's completely fine. But if you're just going out there and you're just giving advice like, "Hey, I think you should do this," and then like you're just getting on people's nerves most of the time, especially the worst is if I'm like I'll go to Granite Links and go to the driving range there, and there's so many people who are just like going up to random people and are like, "Hey, I think you should do this and this," and there's like I've never met this person before, and they're just coming up to me with golf advice. I don't think unsolicited golf advice should be a thing. I think it's only if someone's asking for it, should you try to correct someone's swing unless you're a coach.
Yeah, especially in an environment like that, in
Yeah,
places like Granite Links, I think just are full of the people who just, you know, and it's a great place, great spot. But that's just one of those kind of hubs of like golf know-it-alls that they think that, you know, they want to show off what they know. And it's like,
yeah,
you better be 100 times the golfer that I am if
yeah,
you're going to be giving me advice that I didn't ask for.
yeah, exactly. Most of the time, I feel like it's guys who are like trying to like impress a girl or something who's hitting balls
Yep.
at the range, and they're like, "Oh, this is gonna be my in, and I'm gonna try to correct her swing," and it usually just completely backfires.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you being a content creator yourself, you know, you're very familiar with blind ranking. So I have a five. So we're gonna do five, ranking them, you know, 1 to 5, one being the best. These are just things in golf. All right. So starting off, we're gonna do walking 18 holes.
Oh, all right. This is a good one to start with because I walk a lot. So I'm gonna throw that. I'm gonna throw out three. I'm gonna start off with that right in the middle.
That's I feel like that's the hack in blind rankings is just unless it's a layup
Not go too
at the
yeah, not
first,
go
you
too high or not go too low
throw
right
it
off
right
the
at
bat.
3. Scramble tournaments.
I'm gonna throw that at four.
Scramble at 4. Golf trip with the boys.
I feel like you got to throw that at one. Like I don't know if much can really top a good golf trip with the boys,
Yep.
unless you're really throwing something else out there. I think that's got to be number one.
Yep. We got so we got the 2 spot and the 5 spot left. Hot dog at the turn.
Ooh, I'm gonna take a I'm gonna take a guess and to say there might be something better than that. So I'm gonna unfortunately throw that at five, but I'm gonna take a chance.
All right. Hole in one.
Okay, all right, that was a good choice. I can't be throwing that at five, so that's definitely good at two.
I
Um, yeah,
I think you absolutely nailed this. I the hole in one. I think even a golf trip with the boys. I mean, a hole in one is iconic, and you'd never forget that. But golf trip with the boys is kind of the same thing. So
I feel like those are interchangeable. I feel like those two could be interchangeable, but yeah, I think
yeah,
the
so
rest of it's solid.
yeah, so you got golf trip with the boys at 1, hole in one at 2, walking 18, 3,
Yep.
scramble 4, hot dog at the turn at 5. But I mean, those are all 5 are great things. So
Yeah,
it's
you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with any of those. So I was a little nervous starting out, but I feel like I made the right choices in my
I,
opinion.
I like it. I like it. 5 years from now, where would you like Flannygolfs to be? You know, where would you like to be? You know, you could take it anyway. Where your golf game has gone, content, kind of lump it all in. What are your kind of 5-year goals for your golf
Yeah,
content?
yeah, it's a great question. I would say getting more into the long form type of stuff down the line. Like I just created I made a YouTube channel just to have it, just in case like the goal is down the line to get into more long form content and everything like that, and obviously keep growing my following and everything like that. So I think 5 years down the line, obviously I'd want to keep getting better golf wise, but I think just getting into more long form content, showing my personality a lot more in my content is kind of the goal for me as far as that goes.
Yeah, I mean, and golf is such a thing. Like we live in an era where it is all about clips and short content, but golf is kind of that one of those topics and categories that people will sit and watch the long form
Yeah.
content, whether
Yeah.
it's what Foreplay does or the Internet
Yeah.
Invitational or, the Good Golf, like all of that, Bob Does Sports. Like there's all this long form content and fans eat it up.
Yeah.
And
But I
there's
watch
not,
yeah. I watch way too much YouTube golf. It's like I watch more than like TV now.
oh
And then
yeah,
I'm sitting there and I'm like watching Bob Does Sports or something like that was 2 hours. Like I just flew like I just through that.
there's not many other categories I think that are as popular in the long form content game right now, I would say.
No,
So I
definitely not. Yeah.
throwing your hat in the ring there, is definitely I think it's a great goal, and it's there's eyeballs there. There's people that wanna
Mhm.
consume that content.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
that's great.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when I had Scott Atwood on, a couple weeks ago, we talked a lot about how, there's not enough content at the level of golf that's not those top tier guys, you know
Mhm.
what I mean? Like,
Yep.
that get millions of views on every single video. There needs to be more of, like, and you're an above average golfer, but, like, someone in your lane that is good, but it's not your full-time thing. You're shooting, you have a full-time job. You just happen to be very good at golf because of the amount you play and the work that you've put into it. But there's always gonna be a place for that, what those guys were before they, grew up into the stars that they are.
Yeah, I think it's important just from like obviously like my handicap says I'm like a good golfer, but I'll still hit some of the worst shots you'll ever see. So I think it's like important to not for like amateur golfers to not want to be perfect online because I feel like that just gets boring if you're like, all right, I parred this hole that I filmed today, so I'm just going to post a par. It's like I feel like if people like more realistic content, like, all right, this guy is a good golfer, but he just shanked a ball, like, but and like got up and down or something. Like he just didn't hit like three perfect shots and then got out of there and just he's not showing any bad shots or anything like that. So I feel like it's like people like the more realistic content as well.
I couldn't agree more, and that is the fastest way, if you're a golf content creator, for me to unfollow you is if all I see is your highlight reel and you just going, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
birdie putt. Like, I don't there's enough of that. I can watch that Thursday through Sunday on Golf
exactly.
Channel. When it's a Tuesday afternoon and I'm watching a guy who is out there, I wanna see him struggle. I wanna see, him have fun with it or her. Um, our friend Brooke is notorious for I think she needs to post more of her good shots. She puts herself down too much. I would love to see the victory lap that she took breaking 90 the other day, but, stuff like that is what makes the golf community fun, and I am so grateful to have met so many people and got to know their stories and, sharing yours. And, um, golf is definitely going to be a big part of this podcast going forward. Not necessarily from me and what I do, but just getting to know the people that do it and what makes it tick.
Yeah, I've loved getting to know like people through social media and stuff like that because there's so many different backgrounds and everything, like people from different parts of the country. Like it's just really cool to get to meet people and that you'd never expect to meet. Like 2 years ago, I would never have met these people if I hadn't started a Instagram page and stuff like that. So I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I've enjoyed other than just posting golf clips and seeing golf clips. It's just making building those friendships and community and everything like that.
Yeah, it is. It is a special thing that exists, and it is great to see it grow. And I do love seeing. I was pumped to see the content that you guys put out, and it's just golf is in a great place, and it's cool to see with the more. I was talking to somebody the other day about how the image of golf is not the country club retired old person stigma that it used to be. It's not
No,
this elite thing. It could be anybody, and it's great that it is everybody that wants to play. Um, you know, every time I see a shrink the game kind of thing, I'm like, I understand when it's you see people that aren't respecting what it is, but at the end of the day, golf needed to loosen up a little bit. And
100%. Yeah.
everything that that Tiger did and that generation after that came after him to kind of make golf more fun and more, make kids interested in it has made this whole other generation of people and made it not be the old man game that it is. And it's people our age are thriving in golf and love it, and it's what we do, not not because we're have nothing better to do, but it's because of what we want to do.
Yeah, exactly. I think like YouTube golf has been such a difference maker in that too, just making the game a lot more fun and it's like kid centric and everything like that. Because like one particular clip like comes to mind where like Garrett Clark was doing his like public course like tour or whatever on YouTube and he played it like Braintree Municipal and he was on like the 17th hole or something and this kid knew he was playing there. The kid was probably like 11 and came down to the course and like asked for like a signed glove or something like that from him. And it's like he's like just a YouTube golfer, but he's obviously making a big impact on like kids being interested in golf and everything like that. So I think just the YouTube golf space has been big in growing the game for the younger generation as well.
Yeah, there's really no other sport where if you're not good enough to go pro, that you can still kind of have an impact and build a following and build a whatever. Like, if you aren't good enough to go to the NHL, there's really not much. There's a handful of like hockey creators, but they were still like elite level at one point, and they didn't for whatever reason. Golf is something that at any age you can build a following and build a build a career around just being putting out content. And there's really no other sport that I can think of that does that.
No, exactly. And I was thinking like besides I think golf and maybe like pickleball now, it's the only really sport that you can play until like you're in your 70s and everything like that that I can really think of, which is so unique. That people can kind of keep that competitiveness going throughout their whole life and everything like that, which is great.
Yeah, because it that you can continue to adjust and evolve your game. That I've been out there with guys that I'm like, is this guy gonna have a heart attack? But he's out there and he's shooting five over. It's like
Mhm. Yeah.
it's a truly special game, and it's been great to follow your content and get to know you today. Um, but why don't you share where people can follow you?
Yeah, so you can follow me, same thing on Instagram and TikTok. It's at Flannygolfs. If you want to start following my YouTube, haven't posted anything yet, but it's the same thing, Flannygolfs. Definitely hit the follow button. I'd appreciate it and would love to have you guys.
Awesome. Evan, it's been great to get to know you. We live way too close to each other
Yeah,
to not get a round out and put some content out together. So we will
100%.
definitely make that happen. So keep an eye out for that. But other than that, make sure you're following the podcast. A lot of great guests coming soon. And Evan, thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.